Could you explain a little bit more about the methodology that you're using so that somebody
Sure.
can access the state?
Well, it's really quite simple, and it's amazing that nobody has discovered it in all these centuries, because it's very simple. And that is, all of us are just looking to get permission to be who we are and to be all that we are. And yet, society and our culture doesn't do this. Our culture and our society keeps us locked in and confined within a kind of, we can say, facade, a kind of, we have to play by the rules and by the, the name of the game. And it keeps us restricted and not free and not one with each other. And so it's almost like if you take water and you freeze it into chunks, you got ice cubes.
Mm-hmm.
And then these ice cubes are trying to relate to one another, and we wonder why we have such a difficult time in being intimate and being personal in our relationships. But it's like chunks of ice. What we need to do is melt the ice back into water. And that's what the big mind does. So what I do is I give people permission, and of course it helps that I am kind of an authority figure and a Zenmeister, because they trust that. And I give them permission to be what they've always wanted to be, which is awakened beings. And it's very simple, because once I say, may I speak to, like if I just said right now to you, may I speak to Big Mind, please? And then you just answer, may I speak to Big Mind? You answer,
yes.
Okay, so now who am I speaking to?
Big Mind.
Big Mind. And just see what you experience.
It's incredible.
And that's all it really takes. And so what's your experience right now as Big Mind?
I can't say it. I don't know.
It's just dumbfounding, isn't it? Can you find, let me ask you some questions to help you. Can you find any limits to your bigness?
No.
Can you find any birth or death?
No.
No. So how would you express what you're experiencing right now? Are you in the past? Are you in the future? Are you in the present?
I'm here now, eternally.
That's it. And it's so different, like if you look at the self, when you see it from this perspective, what do you see in the self?
What do you mean by self?
Well, the limited self that you're usually coming from. Because you don't see a self from this place, right? I wish the folks could see your face right now. I wish the camera was on you, because you're all lit up.
I still can feel some tension inside, but
Just say, what's the difference right now from the way you are normally?
I feel somehow connected.
Mm-hmm.
I sense the things as they are here at the moment.
That's right.
There is no story about it.
That's right.
There's no story.
There is no story, that's right. It just drops away.
No. Gives me a reminder of when I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm. Very open.
No, it's... And, it's like wondering what those nice things are.
Yeah, it opens up a state of wonder, a state of awe,
Yeah.
And you're open and very tuned in to everything. So this is the experience I had on the mountaintop, and it took me almost 30 years to find a way to share this with people. And that's why the book, sold out, I think, in the first less than a month, and why people are coming to all these workshops that I'm doing all over, because people have this experience, and it's that easy. See, when I give you or someone permission to speak as it, what it does is it allows us to be here in the present moment instantly. And Zen has always been about instant or sudden awakening. And the Zen schools, it's always been known as the sudden school of awakening, whereas the other schools of Buddhism are more considered the gradual school. You work towards it. The problem is that if we get stuck in our seeking, always seeking to get there, we're stuck. If you imagine a railroad track with two rails, and one rail, let's call it the relative reality, or human reality. It's the human reality, it's the relative reality where we do our business every day, where we have to make judgments, make decisions, we have to analyze, we have to verbalize, we have to communicate. That's our everyday mind. In Zen we call it our everyday mind. You can call it the relative reality or the everyday mind. The other track is that reality which we're all searching for if we begun searching. In other words, for God, for truth, for liberation, for awakening. So our true self, we're searching for that. But as long as we're on this one rail, we can't move to the other rail. We're just stuck on this rail. It's like one of these little carts that's just stuck on the rail. And it doesn't matter how long we try to get there, for how long, how many years, or how fast we move, or we start propelling ourselves faster and faster, we're still stuck on that rail. And if we look down these two rails, it looks like way off in the distance they actually merge.
Yes.
And so we think if I just go harder, work harder, I'm going to get there. But working harder and going longer doesn't get us any closer. The illusion of merging is always still in the distance. What we have to do is find a way to jump the rail, to leap from one rail to the other. And we cannot do that within time and space. And the relative reality, or the human reality, is always within time and space. We're all obsessed with time, and we're all within space. And I see myself as separate from you, from my environment. I see that the tree is the tree and I am me. There's a separation. Time is moving forward and I'm losing time, and I'm getting older, and I resist the impermanence, and that things are constantly changing in flux. And I want to experience the eternal, I want to experience the present, I want to experience that other track, that other rail, but I don't know how to get there. The moment I ask to speak to an aspect of you, like big mind, I can use many, many different ways to do that, then, and you say, okay, you're now speaking to big mind, you're there. You're outside of time and space. So another one that I use, and I've been using it more in the workshops, is we all have a part of ourself that we're identified with that's damaged, that I've been hurt in my life. I've been abandoned, I've been ridiculed, I've been, I've been all that. And one way we can look at it is that's my damaged self. But I have a self that's not damaged. This is the damaged self. But there is one that is not damaged. If there's a damaged self, there's got to be a self that's undamaged. So if I just suddenly ask, may I speak to the undamaged self? And you say yes, then you're then there again.
And it's that easy.
And it's that simple. And it's that sudden. So when I get any kind of ridicule or people saying this is too simple, it's too easy, it's too fast, it's all true. It is simple, it is easy, it is fast, it's immediate. And that is just what it is.